What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $579 on the day. I'm going to probably call it a day right now. It's nice to have a decent win finally. The market's been just kind of sluggish for me recently, and I've been hitting, $100, $200 days, so it's nice to get a decent chunk today. So let's go over the trades. First and foremost, I want to invite everyone to my free Discord chat. It is rocking and rolling during the early market hours. Obviously, it's kind of piddling off here as people just call it a day early, but it's free. It's for any kind of trader, new, intermediate, and old school, been around a while trader. I call out what I see in the voice alerts section right here throughout the morning and throughout the day whenever I'm on. Just a good way to come in, meet some good traders, meet people that are learning as well. It's absolutely free, and come on in. It's a blast. So let's get to the trades. SFM. This one was my main watch out of the gates today. Yesterday it finished, this huge pullback down to the support level right here, and I thought today we'd see continuation out of it. And I really thought, I told the people in chat today that it was going to dip out of the open and then move on up. So what did I do? I bought the open. I saw volume coming in, and I thought, well, shoot, we got the candle over candle in the daily. It's going to move up without dipping. And so I bought 3,000 shares, basically almost at the exact top of the opening candle. And it just freaking fell off the face of the earth, right? All the way down to 1966. That was down pretty heavily. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. The morning sell-off is just so stupid. I'm never trading the morning again. I don't trade in the morning. I usually wait like 4 or 5 minutes before I make a trade usually, because of this kind of stuff happens. You just don't know which way a stock's going to go. In this case, I would have gotten burned had I just sold. I was pretty close to letting it go, but it did turn up for me. I got lucky. This wasn't skill at all. I finally saw some volume coming into the buy side, like a lot of other people, and then finally it started moving back up. And then right around here, this volume spike you could see. Uh, News comes out that Walmart's looking to buy SFM, right? Now tell me that isn't just perfect timing, huh? Going high a day, news comes out, Walmart, someone just put that BS out there to get this pop and get this thing moving. But nonetheless, I'm happy for it because I was able to get out at 2008 inside this pop to be green. I was down like $1,600 down here, and I was happy to get green. And it did break high a day, and it did get up to 2050. But when you're that red, getting 150 bucks out of a trade feels like a big win. So that was my first trade of the day, and I was happy for it. My next trade was F-Tech. This one was popping up on some absolute garbage news. They got like a $500,000 order or something stupid like that, which, oh, this is a market cap of 23 million. $500,000 is a lot to these guys. Well, not really. If you went over to Yahoo Finance and you looked at their revenue last year, the revenue last year was 53 million, and they were still losing a crap ton of money. So 53.5 million isn't going to make a difference. It's still garbage. I put that in our chat rooms that I subscribe to and the Discord. I put that on StockTwits, and I'm sure I got called a bunch of names, but I was 100% right. This thing was a pure pump. It ran up on garbage news, and I was just waiting for the dumb longs to be done with and looking for a short entry. This you have the high, then you have a lower high on the 1 minute. You can play it that way. I got in at 105 right here for the candle under candle. I mean, talk about absolute perfect timing. And we broke down on one. I was going to cover around one. That was my goal, because once you get to $1, it's hard for a penny stock. It eventually will. It would eventually sell back off. Maybe not today, but maybe not tomorrow. But the reason why is because a lot of brokers don't allow you to short stocks under a dollar. So once it gets there, the only way it's going to move down is if longs sell. You know, if it's up here or up here, shorts can push it down. But once it's around the $1 mark, only people that have shares and sell can make that price go down. So I covered inside this candle at 101.84, basically, $80 on that trade. This next play was a 1 minute play on FSNN. It had a pretty big candle over candle yesterday. It ended the day, high of the day. It was breaking through yesterday's high, and we had this nice pop up, consolidate, and then candle over candle. And I played right here. This is the entry I was looking for. I got filled at 295, broke through $3. As soon as it breaks through, does this. Also, Warrior Trading played this one. A few other chat rooms played this one. You can see the volume coming in right here, 218,000 shares. They went long for this break and popped over 3. I didn't get filled up here. I got filled at 303 for basically an 8-cent win. $240, 3,000 shares. I'll take that all day long. My next trade was a 5-minute candle over candle on SFM. You can kind of see that the 5-minute play worked here nicely, where I almost got burned. Had to pull back, consolidation, and then I was playing candle over candle. So I went long at 2028 roughly, and it got candle over candle and didn't go anywhere. So you can kind of see it a little bit better here. We got the candle over candle, right? This is right when that happened, right here, and it didn't go anywhere. It didn't move up fast enough for me. So when I saw that, I got a little jittery and I sold, and I'm glad I did, because as soon as I did, it dropped all the way back down to 2001. So I made about 20 bucks, 25 bucks on that trade. So right after that happened, after that big drop, I bought that drop. So I'm up on the day pretty good at this time of day, and I bought that drop. It's like, oh, that's a 10-cent drop in 1 minute. That's a little much. So I was using VWAP as support. I bought this candle right here, and it got a little jittery, got up to 2024, was up, $20, $30 on the trade, and um, it didn't feel like it was going to get the momentum to go back up, so I sold for, I think after commissions I was break even. And I'm glad I did, because it ended up selling off right there. So my next trade was TVIX. Out of nowhere, there was just a bunch of selling across the market. Just fell apart. You can see it right here. There's the drop there on the Dow. There's the NASDAQ, S&P. They all just kind of sold really quick, out of nowhere. You can kind of see it on the 5-minute here a little bit better. And so when I saw that, here's the TVIX, the inverse play of it, popped up, right? So it sold off, and I bought that weakness. I got in at 1682. Had to wait a couple minutes for it to curl back up and pop, but on this pop, I sold at 1688 for basically 60 bucks. NVS was my next play. This one had news that one of its drugs got approved. This is a massive company with a massive float in the shares, so it's not going to move fast. A drug approval for this company is not really a big deal, because even if it brings in another $1 billion a year, that's not enough to move the stock much, because the company's so big. So knowing that, it popped up, and I played the pullback because I thought the pullback was a little much. So I went long 500 shares, 82.76, right inside this candle here, this big drop through the VWAP, and it just kind of grinded back up to the VWAP, and I sold at 82.79, 82.80, somewhere right there. So I made what, $15 on the trade. Not a big win, but I was just going for 15 bucks. $15 in 3 minutes. Who doesn't want to do that? FOLD, this one I played as a breakout. You can see on the daily here, 1, 2, 3, and yesterday would be 4 times this level was trying to break, and today we broke it. And I thought it was just going to start running, like a lot of times these do when they break a significant level like that. And I chased this one. I took 1,000 shares, and I almost top ticked it, right? I got in at 14, and I was like, I really shouldn't do this. It's overextended. Wait for a pullback. I was waiting for a pullback, and it just didn't give me a proper one. Like, here's a pullback, but the next candle pop right back up. I was kind of wanting pull back, and then a candle over candle. That would have been a cleaner entry. Instead, I got caught chasing here for the break, 413. I got a decent fill, 414. It popped up. I was green on, but then just started coming back down, and I sold when inside this candle when it was going candle under candle. I got out at 1409 for basically a $45 loss. So my next trade was Lineu. This one was on everybody's radar because of yesterday. Just boom, basically jumped 150% yesterday. This is a previous reverse split stock, so the float's really low. And you can kind of see here on the 5 minute, nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden, boom, big volume. And what is that? That is Jason Bond Picks swing trading service buying this stock. You can kind of see it here. Volume is 4,000, 11,000, 4,000, 6,000, 4,000, 130,000, 48,000, 49,000, 100,000, 40,000. It just 60s. I mean, this right here is Jason Bond Picks Group buying the stock. Started right here. I think he got in at 194. Sent out his alert. Everybody starts buying it, and everybody should be making money on this. He has thousands of subscribers. It's a good service, especially if you're into swing trading. Lots of good ideas inside that service. I've been a member for years now, and I will continue to be a member. And this trade made me money. I was just scalping it. I took 3,000 shares, around $2 when I got the alert, and I sold at 203 right inside this pop. It did pull back. It would have been another buying opportunity had I been watching it. But now you can see the stock is up at 203 again. It did hit a high of 230 today, but after the alert, it did hit a high of 214, and totally could have sold there as well and make a nice, massive profit on that one. This is why I tell people that you gotta subscribe to these chat rooms. If you if you're trading by yourself and you just see this volume come in, you don't know who it is. You don't know if it's a hedge fund. You don't know if it's some idiot that has a lot of money that sits at home and doesn't know what he's doing and just push the buy button, or you don't know if it's a couple thousand people like Jason Bond's group just buying the stock up. You have no idea. And that's why I sub to these rooms. I know who bought it. I know what that's going to do to a stock. When a couple thousand people buy the same stock, it's pretty predictable, and you can make money on that predictability. So anyway, if you're interested in that, a link is in the description down below. If you have any questions about the service, please come into the Discord chat. I'm there all the time. Ask me about it. I'm happy to help out. My next trade was SFM again. This one was just a 1 minute candle over candle. Just had the pop up, consolidate, pop up again. And here we made a higher low. So here's one low and here's the higher low. So I thought a pop was coming up. We were inside this candle. I went long at 2024. Got a quick pop up to 2028, but then it sold pretty hard, and I sold my shares as it was coming back down for basically $20. My next trade was also SFM. This one, it was just consolidating in this area at the VWAP for quite some time. I saw some volume coming in. Uh, we also had kind of candle over candle in the 5 minute chart, so I went long for that candle over candle and the consolidation around the VWAP, and it popped up uh, a good bit there, and I sold into this strength a little bit later uh, for another $20. My last trade of the day was a red trade, but I only took 1,000 shares. V-Ray has a history of moving pretty fast on news, so out of nowhere, 223,000 shares were bought at like 519, shot the stock all the way to 544, and then it just did nothing. So I thought maybe news was going to hit, and someone heard it before I did. So I got long at 531. I only took 1,000 shares because it was already up a good bit, and it just kind of didn't do anything. No new, the Benzinga people, my news sources, they didn't know what was going on, and it just kind of sat there for a minute with no news coming out. So I sold once no news was released. I sold, got out, cut my losses. I lost, I don't know, what is that, 15, 20 bucks on that trade. So not terrible, and that just kind of finished it up at 579 for me today. Good wins today, good trades, all of them worked out nicely. Big scare in the morning, but again, finishing the day green for sure. So if you have any questions, please come on into the Discord chat, ask questions away. If you have any questions on any of the chat rooms or news sources that I subscribe to, please let me know. I'm happy to help. You can find me on StockTwits, on Twitter. You can also find me all the time in the Discord chat. Link for this is down in the description below. All right, guys and gals, I will see you in the next video.